60 Minutes was diving into Germany's speech laws, but they were using sort of an oddly non-confrontational approach.
It's
John, could you go that?
hilarious. Mhm.
If you've ever dared to read the comments on a social media post, you might start to wonder if civilized discourse is just a myth. Aggressive threats, lies, and harassment have unfortunately become the norm online, where anonymity has emboldened some users to push the limits of civility. In the United States, most of what anyone says, sends, or streams online, even if it's hate-filled or toxic, is protected by the First Amendment as free speech. But Germany is trying to bring some civility to the World Wide Web by policing it
Wait,
in a way
can we
most
pause it
Americans
already? I
could.
see that Matt's covering
Yes.
his face with his hands.
And yes,
What do you
Matt,
think of that
Matt,
setup?
interject at will, by the way.
I mean, the First Amendment doesn't allows you to say anything, but Germany's trying to inject some civility into. I mean, can you tip your hand a little bit more? I mean, and also, what American journalist is comfortable saying that? I don't know. I'm sorry. I just have yeah.
No, it's perfect. Let's keep going and interject at will whenever
Mhm.
you need to explode, because actually it's a long clip and it would be fun to chunk it up.
A crime to insult somebody in public.
Yes.
It is.
And it's a crime to insult them online as well?
Yes.
The fine could be even higher
Yeah.
if you insult someone in the internet.
If somebody posts something that's not true, and then somebody else reposts it or likes it, are they committing a crime?
Yeah, in the case of reposting, it is a crime as well.
So it sounds like you're saying it's okay to criticize a politician's policy, but not to say, I think you're a jerk and an idiot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Comments like "you're son of a bitch," excuse me for using, but these words has nothing to do with political discussions or a contribution to a discussion.
In the United States, a lot of people look at this and say, this is restricting free speech. It's a threat to democracy.
This is the excessive freedom or the endless freedom clip. This is amazing.
Free speech needs boundaries. And in the case of Germany, these boundaries are part of our constitution. Without boundaries, a very small group of people can rely on endless freedom to say anything that they want, while everyone else is scared and intimidated.
After
Endless
I mean,
freedom. Matt? Does she have a
Endless
point?
freedom. Yeah. No, it's incredible. This whole thing, and obviously they went on also to show clips of the armed German police, as many as 6, rushing into people's homes to police people who had written memes. And we've all watched 60 Minutes. This is a standard television magazine show trope. The interesting new policy idea. Let's explore it. And they were bringing this kind of cheery vibe to like a police state video, and
Yeah.
it was like shocking for me to. I don't know what you all were thinking watching that. I had never seen anything like that on American television.
Yeah, it's odd because the journalist is kind of has like a posture of objectivity, but is like not pushing back whatsoever on any of these, like not raising any sort of serious free speech objections. It's more like, in America we have the First Amendment. Tell us why that's wrong. Like, she doesn't
Tell
say
us why
those
that
words,
sucks.
but that's kind of the tone of the entire piece. And I've noticed this across a lot of the coverage is whether it's in 60 Minutes or it's in the New York Times or Washington Post. It's kind of like, let's kind of give the Steelman case for why speech laws are good, and then we're not going to say we endorse it, but we will like kind of let the various bureaucrats make the case without any pushback
It's
whatsoever.
using you from nowhere to test the waters. They're trying to basically suggest very lightly that this, in fact, would be way better than what we have here. Like, it strikes me as wildly inappropriate, but I also tend to really like a healthy dose of like fire and or patriotism. I don't know. Am I wrong
No.
to yearn for that?
No, absolutely not. And we we also, this is another theme of the stuff that I've been writing about for a couple of years. Like the Department of Homeland Security, for instance, has this concept. They call it building resilience on the one hand, or pre-bunking on the other, which is this idea of introducing a potentially controversial or difficult idea to an audience early, so that they'll be more accepting of it later. So, for instance, if usually it's done in a way that's supposed to be prophylactic, like you warn somebody 5 months ahead of time that there could be, Russians might interfere with the election, and that will make people more receptive to the idea that there is when you do that story later on. But sometimes they also like to introduce an idea, and this is all about how do we protect people against certain kinds of ideas, and how do we condition them to accept others, like about the vaccine, right? Um, and they talk about building resilience, which is we want the population to uh, and sort of on their own reject psychologically certain ideas before they're even posed to them. So there's a lot of signaling that goes on in media, and it's not state media, but it just sort of seems to happen that way. And this 60 Minutes thing felt to me like a classic seeding of an
But
idea.
why does it happen that way? What you've worked in big newsrooms before, like what is going on? Why why are our media like this?
Because there's been a huge culture change in media. The people who remain in big mainstream news organizations are not, for the most part, the old school, like, let's just give people the information, let them sort it out kind of thing, which used to be the ethos. Now there's a very hardcore belief that that we have to help people understand, make them more, increase the digital literacy of, they use that phrase a lot, right?
Yeah.
Of readers and viewers, because the whole idea is that if they make bad and political choices because they are seeing misinformation, so we have to provide them with the correct information, and get them to the correct political decision. So there's a great belief within the the present sort of mainstream media world that um that these techniques, that siding with speech policing or speech massaging or content moderation um is important ideologically. Also, there's also an angle of they get a lot of free content out of this thing. Like, we saw this a lot where somebody like the FBI or some academic research agency would do a report on certain accounts that were linked to Iran or Russia or whatever, and they would give it to a reporter. A reporter goes to the platform and says, "Are you going to get rid of these accounts?" And the platform hems and haws, and then finally, whether if they say no, the newspaper beats the crap out of them. If they say yes, the newspaper takes credit for it. And it's an easy way to easy content thing, and there's tons of it, right? So I think that is part of it as well, but mostly it's ideological.
Hey, that was a clip from Just Asking Questions. You can watch another one here or the full episode here. And please subscribe to our brand new channel to get us started off right and be notified when new episodes or clips go up. Thanks for watching.